All right, guys. So there's a lot of stuff coming up that I think I want to talk about here a little bit, just kind of bring up and kind of let you guys know what's going on because it's going to be a lot of major changes coming up here in the next few weeks or so. And it's not really going to do anything massive here to the YouTube channel. Like I'm not retiring or anything crazy, but there is definitely some stuff going on that I kind of want to bring up and just let you guys know what's going on because it's going to be pretty huge. Like it's a lot of moving parts, I think, and it's probably going to be quite ambitious, I would say, especially for a YouTuber because most of the time when people get like a YouTube following and everything, they're just kind of complacent with that, right? They're just like, "You know what? I've kind of beat the game." You know what I'm saying? I got a million subs. I don't really have anything else to prove. Like I've done everything I wanted to do, and they just kind of chill out with that, right? Maybe they have a second channel or something like that, but there's a lot to talk about and discuss, so I kind of just want to get right into it. I don't want this to be some crazy ramble, right, where it just doesn't make any sense. So, uh, to put it very simply, there's going to be more content than ever going into next year on more platforms, and the, I guess, Optimus brand, quote unquote, is going to grow beyond just a YouTube brand. You know what I'm saying? It's actually going to become a multifaceted, almost organization, I think is the best way to put it. I actually am considering having to hire people to, I guess, keep this going and to actually fulfill these plans, which is something I never thought I was going to say. I always figured that I would be able to do all this on my own, but I really started kind of going hard at this for real. That's when I really started uploading like multiple times a day and things like that. And I realized then that I can do that, right? Like I can pull that off myself. But any room to grow beyond that, outside of that, I'm probably going to have a little bit of help here, okay? Because it just 3 videos a day, it's hard to do. Don't get me wrong. At least it's hard to do in terms of realistically just the time that it takes and everything. But it doesn't even feel that bad anymore doing like 2 or 3 videos a day. What it really comes down to is all the other stuff planned. So here on YouTube, I plan on making my second channel also active, okay? Now that channel's at about 94,000 subscribers. I have not consistently uploaded on it in a long time, right? And I feel like it's a lot of wasted opportunity. So the plan is to upload 3 videos a day on the main channel and 1 to 2 videos a day on the second channel. Now, this is going to be a lot of work. This is going to be very hard to maintain, but I think that I can do it. I think that I actually can pull this off. And of course, there's going to be days where I can't meet that quota, but I mean, that's kind of like the goal, right? That's what I want to eventually get to. So all this really means is more content, okay? This means that 3 to 5 videos a day, hopefully at some point, for you guys to consume. I think that's pretty good to shoot for. I think I'd be pretty satisfied with that. But YouTube is not the only thing that I'm changing up. You guys may have noticed that I've been taking, I guess, merchandise a little bit more seriously in the last few weeks and months. I've done a collaboration. I have a Optimus and Champion, I guess, collaboration merchandise line. I just launched the Optimus Season 1 merchandise line, and there's so much more planned. Like, there's literally just dozens of different items that'll be going out over the next few months. And support behind that has been absolutely phenomenal. I mean, it's gotten to the point where the merchandise itself is becoming, like, I would say, an established brand. We're not talking about any Nike or Adidas or anything crazy like that, no Odd Future or Santa Cruz clothes, but especially for YouTube merch, internet merch, I think that it's actually becoming something. It's becoming more established. So I want to do more with that going forward, and I want to actually focus on that a lot more and give that, I would say, more creative space so that I can actually make things that I like, that I would wear, that I think my friends would wear, that other people would wear, because I design a vast majority of it myself. If it's not like very clearly collaborative, then I design it. So I want to take a little bit of time going forward to focus on that as well. Now, on top of that, I'm actually going to be trying to expand Optimus content beyond just YouTube. Now, if you guys don't know, YouTube is an extremely volatile platform. I mean, it's done so much for me. I've done and accomplished so much on the platform, but the sad reality is it feels like any day now YouTube can just come along and decide they don't like your content and just completely obliterate any potential for your channel, okay? And you can have the wrong opinion, you can say something foul, or you can just not be what's desirable in the algorithm anymore and you can just disappear. Now, I'm not too worried about this at this point in time, but I think that it's good to have safeguards, and also expanding to other platforms kind of brings the reach out a little bit more as well. It actually makes it to where people who use other platforms dominantly over YouTube, or who don't even use YouTube at all, whether the website is banned in their country or whether they just choose not to. It allows me to reach a broader audience, which in turn makes the content more watched, which as a content creator is kind of like the primary goal. So I also have a really inactive Facebook page that I'm going to be revitalizing, and I'll also be uploading my content there as well. It's not going to be any different than the YouTube content, so if you don't want to use boomer-ass Facebook, then you don't have to, but the whole point is I want people on Facebook who use Facebook predominantly to also have a chance to discover my videos and to discover the channels and whatnot, and that will help my brand overall. So I've decided that I will also be using Facebook. Now, Facebook actually has a video platform quite similar to YouTube. It has its own algorithm. It promotes content in a very similar fashion, it seems. And on top of that, I'm also really considering uploading like very short clips of my videos to TikTok as well. Because as like dangerous as the platform has been made out to be, especially by the Trump administration, in reality, it's not totally different than what YouTube and Facebook are already doing. It's just a different global government. Maybe you can, of course, make the argument a worse global government that potentially has access to that kind of stuff, and it's still a very muddy situation, but there's already so many people using it that it's not going to really matter all that much, and once again, it's not going to be anything different, really. If anything, it's actually shorter pieces of the content that you'll already be seeing on probably YouTube, some of you maybe Facebook, but... And then with that also, I'm starting to set up the foundation, I guess, to actually make this a legitimate business going forward, right? Where it's not just some YouTube thing that I do. I actually want to expand into other industries and things down the road. Obviously, these aren't things that are going to be happening anytime soon, considering the fact that some of them are currently illegal. I'm not going to get too deep into that. They're currently illegal, at least where I live, but legalization is pretty much imminent across the entire United States. I really want to get into things like real estate. Like I said, I want to grow the merchandising out a little bit more and try to make that more of like an established, legitimate brand, I guess. Maybe not something that you're going to walk into like a Walmart and buy off the shelf, but that would, of course, be amazing. I just want it to be more established than the things that it like already was. Because at one point I was only shouting out merchandise like twice a month, and now it's pretty much in all the videos and everything, and there's legitimate promotional material for it, and it's doing better than ever because of stuff like that. So to put it simply, there's going to be a pretty radical change going forward. I'm not going to treat this as just some, goofy one-off little YouTube channel, because in all reality, there's so much more opportunity behind it, and I think a lot of people fail to realize that the moment that you build up a following on social media like this, it really can become a lot of different things. Like, you really have so much fluidity in a situation like this with how you can move forward. I mean, we've seen people like Filthy Frank who built up a YouTube audience and then became legitimate pop sensations and just transferred industries like that and becomes, one of the biggest artists on the planet. So it's situations like that that have shown me over time that treating this only as an opportunity to do something on YouTube is kind of ridiculous when there's so much more that I can be doing. I'm a very competitive person by nature. I always strive to do the best that I can. When I'm not doing the best that I can, I feel really bad about myself. And I think a lot of the issues that I've had recently have stemmed around the idea that I don't really know what the future holds, and I don't know I don't know what's going to happen, which I think is pretty understandable. A lot of people struggle with that, but I think setting up a plan like this, a foundation like this, definitely helps ease the mind a little bit. Because right now, the future literally is, oh, hey, I should probably upload 3 videos tomorrow, or, bad things can happen to the channel, it might get shown less in the algorithm or whatever. But in a situation like this, it expands it beyond just hey, let's shoot for uploads tomorrow, because it kind of solidifies the uploading thing, and then at the same time, gives other opportunities to kind of strike and see where I can take things. So it's definitely going to be a pretty massive change to my life, but I think at the age of 20, man, when you have an opportunity like this, you can't squander it. You know what I'm saying? You can't throw an opportunity like this in the trash. Because, I mean, shit, I might live another 60, 70 years if I have good health. And, life is basically just getting started. There's no reason to confine myself to just this one thing when I can be pushing much harder and doing much more. So I kind of just wanted to throw this together to explain it that way. It's not like a bombshell if all this stuff's going on and people aren't really understanding what's going on. I think it's best to be as transparent as I can with things like this. And then also at the same time, I wanted to say, as far as I know, my 1 million gold plaque is in transit, or like the process has been started to get that here. Obviously, I already have my 100K up here on the wall I'm looking at right now. So I'm about to have 2 pieces of hardware from YouTube. And actually, I might be having 3 soon. If the second channel hits 100K, obviously, that's another plaque to redeem. which would mean I would then have 2 silver 100K plaques and a gold 1 million plaque. That'd be like having like 3 finals trophies, you know what I'm saying? Well, I don't know about that because obviously 100K and 1 million aren't the same thing. Maybe like 1 finals trophies and like 2 season MVPs or something like that. We're out here putting together a Hall of Fame career up here on the wall, man. It's pretty crazy. So I got to thank you guys, obviously, for that, for the support, for watching the videos. And I guess as this new era of Optimus dawns, you know, there's going to be a lot more potential for growth. I've come to realize that at 1 million subscribers, you know, 10 million really doesn't seem that impossible anymore. I mean, at 100K, you're like 10 million? Yeah, okay, bro. You know what I'm saying? But when you go from 100K to 1 million in a matter of just a few years, like, it really doesn't feel that impossible anymore. So I don't know if I'll ever reach that or what the whole deal is with that, but I mean, the potential is there. I'm going to shoot for the moon and see what I guess comes of it. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Definitely going to need your guys' support pretty big going into this transitional phase. So I hope you guys can stick around through all this. And yeah, make sure to check out Shop Opti down below. Thank you to my channel members. Your support helps my channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, really trying to build something special, and signing out.